So let's get into it real quick because Chris, I don't know your feelings on it. I really didn't get all y'all's feelings on it.
Man, I look, I could care less to see all of those teams play.
I
We
knew
just
it. I
need,
knew it. I
we
knew
just need to see like Ohio State,
it.
Alabama,
Nope, I was going.
um, Clemson, and Notre Dame play in the playoffs. I don't
Look,
want
look,
to see all these other teams that Alabama didn't just dismantle to get another. Like, nah, they should have beat Alabama when they had the shot.
wait, I want to ask you this though, because really the only team that we seeing that's like that is Texas A&M, and I understand that you feel that way. And who else is in there? I believe it's like Texas A&M. Am I correct? Because they haven't played
Yep.
Florida yet. And so, but I will say this, man. As that right there is a point that you can make. And I would say if those four teams make it, as they probably should, then they should make it. But Chris, as a lover of the game, college football is the only drug. You know what I'm saying? As a lover of the
Nah,
game,
man, that's what the New Year's Six is for. Go play in the New Year's
no,
Six, bro.
I
But
don't,
you
I
know
don't,
The
what?
I don't,
But
playoffs.
you
I
know
don't
what?
want to see
No,
it.
no, no.
Okay, let me ask you this. So, Chris, what would you do? What would you do? Because I truly believe there's a couple teams on here. One team that I believe that will upset a team. Cincinnati can beat Georgia. I believe it.
Oh
I've
yeah,
watched
Nah, they
both them
can't,
teams.
bro.
No, yes, they
yes
can.
they can. They can
Cincinnati,
upset them.
Georgia does not have consistent quarterback play.
But look, this is the other thing. I don't want to see Georgia in the playoffs. Like Georgia that went out there
Bro,
and Alabama stumped the mud hole
all
in
right.
them.
So
There's
guess
no
what?
need to
Let
see
me,
them in them
let me
playoffs. We
ask you
know
this,
what they
Chris.
about.
I
Why
mean,
would
it's just
you? Oh,
like
go ahead. Go
it's
ahead.
like March Madness, you know. Like
Yes.
when I looked at that, I'm like, bro, if they bring this into college football playoffs, it's just like March Madness. Like
Chris,
It don't
one of
Coastal
need
these
to be
teams,
Carolina.
March
it's one
Madness,
Chris,
you
bro.
Coastal
can
Carolina.
you
Yes, we
can
do.
catch you can
What?
catch a team like that one team. Like God
Bro.
forbid that fucking you know what I'm saying. Bama gets caught by one day.
No,
Bama
wait,
ain't paying
Ghost,
Bama
attention.
Ghost, hold
not
up.
finna
It's
get
like
No,
caught
Ghost,
one
Ghost. I'm
day.
gonna get him. I'm gonna get him, Ghost. I'm gonna get him. Chris. So you mean to tell me, and I know, and this isn't about, this is not about, let me make this clear. Because in parts, I know what Chris you're talking about. We know that half these teams can't compete with some of these other teams when it comes down to it. But we're talking about just for the sake of the football overdose and our entertainment, because they'll
Man,
make more money off of this. But look,
that's
no,
what the
no,
New Year
Chris.
Six is
So,
for.
all right, no, because we talk every Saturday. Every Saturday we talk. We watch these games. So, Chris, you
Yeah, but
telling
we
me if
bro,
Notre Dame,
not
Chris, wait, hold
only
up, wait, before you interrupt me, Chris, because I know you. If you were to see Notre Dame, let's say Notre Dame and USC was jumping off. That's a rivalry, and they couldn't play it because of COVID. That's a rivalry. Let's say, and UFC could beat them maybe, but let's say that Notre Dame wins, right? Then you get to see your tight ends play against Miami, and then
yes.
De'Aaron King, you get an extra game of the super tight ends at Iowa
I
State
don't hey look,
versus
I don't
why
need
would you?
it.
Why
I don't need
not?
because that's what the New Year Six is for. I'm not gonna
No,
rob
but
these
this
kids
means, but this
like that
Rob
went out
this
here and
means
did their
something.
job and
Niggas
beat the
getting robbed every
Who
day,
you
bro.
competition.
robbing? Who you robbing?
The ones who then went out there and dominated somebody to make the playoffs.
How are
Like it
they
ain't no
robbed?
need of
All right,
seeing
hold up,
all these other
wait.
teams.
So I'm not gonna lie. So Chris, I think this is where me and you may differ in our love for college sports, because I'll let you know I love college sports for two reasons. One, because there's a whole lot of teams and a whole lot of talent. Number two, with there being a whole lot of talent, you get to see the guy that's about to be an accountant in a couple years versus the guy that's about to be a first round draft pick. And I love that interaction because sometimes it ends in the accountant winning a game. But most of the time, it ends up in a very entertaining thing like Jalen Waddle running for 100 yards down the field for a touchdown. And I truly believe that if we saw Iowa versus Alabama, we would see an ass kicking in levels that would be so entertaining. And Iowa would probably play as hard as they could. And I would love to see that. But Bama would smash them. But then, Chris, you're telling me that you don't want to see Bama versus Cincinnati?
Man, no. Like not at all. Not
You
even
don't
in the
want to
least
see
bit.
you don't want to see a possible Texas A&M versus Ohio State matchup to play Alabama?
Like if Texas A&M manages to beat Alabama, yes. If not, no.
But it, but,
Like
but,
I want to see,
but
I
by
want to
what you
see the teams who then played and they the games that they could play, bro, and go out here and play against the other teams who played the games they could play and won their conference Like the other games, that's what the New Year's Six is for, bro. It's football. Like they don't need to be playing that many games in a row, and it's COVID. Like
Man,
it's
that's
gonna
the
be
reason why
close
you
to
get sick.
impossible to play that
Oh my
many
God,
games. But
this
even if
man,
it wasn't COVID, bro, like I just don't want to see the teams who done been out here losing go out here and play in
but
the
they
playoffs.
but they
Like it's
haven't been
meant
out
for the
here
comp.
losing.
Now, if
They
you
They
ain't
say,
lost to
been
if
one.
you
They lost
now,
to
losing.
one team.
Russ,
It's you
if you
literally.
say if you say give me all of the power five and heck, you can pick one more team, I'm cool with that. But I am not trying to see a bunch of teams who third in their conference go out. Nah, they had their
Most of
chance.
these
Let's just
players,
get the
Who
most of these
third?
ain't third in their
There's,
conference,
there's
so
only there's no thirds, bro. There's what, one third. There's
it's
one
gonna be
third
more
team.
than one
No,
third.
it's not. There's one. It's Iowa. And there's always
Bro.
gonna be one third
Iowa,
team. It's
Texas
one.
A&M.
And they're
especially
making them,
Like
bro. They're
they
making
ain't.
Iowa play and they're making them play Bama. Like, so it's kind of like,
Yeah.
all right, you made it. You get, and I think, and I agree with the people that think like,
nah,
yo, that's wrong, Chris. Like, let them play the game. Even if
they
they
did
lose,
play the game and they lost.
Iowa ain't never played Alabama in a playoff game where it matters. You know how turned up that's gonna be? Bro,
Man,
be
they don't.
real, dog. Like, come on, man. That's gonna be the most turned up game for both teams. Even if Bama smash them, it's
And
gonna
if
be a
Iowa
turned
wins there, if Iowa won the Big 12, I'm all for having all the conference winners playing in the tournament. But there's no need of adding all of these other teams. Just give me the
up.
conference winners
But you,
so
bro,
I
you
can see
can't
who all
tell me.
won their
So you,
conference.
so you telling me none of these matchups are intriguing? If you were to wake up, don't.
In
If
the
you were to
in
wait, no, no,
Russ,
no,
I'm
no.
not
But let me
saying it's
finish.
not
Let me
intriguing.
finish. Let me finish. Let me finish. And I want you to answer this truthfully. So if you were to wake up tomorrow and they were to tell you, yo, if I were to call you, say, oh, Chris, they're doing it. This is a 16-team playoff, bro, and it starts, nigga. And then the first game we're gonna get to watch is gonna be Notre Dame versus USC, and the second game is gonna be Florida versus Oklahoma, and the third game is gonna be. Nigga, you gonna be like, we watching football all day, bro. You gonna be like, we watching football all day. It's gonna be live. Come on, man.
Man, that's the New Year's Six, bro.
Then
In
you,
the
so you don't
playoffs,
think, so
I
you
don't
don't
want
think,
to.
so you don't think that because you know in the New Year's Six guys take games off, but if they do it in the playoff format, guys aren't taking game off and they're gonna be playing as hard as they freaking can because it's not gonna
And
be
if,
given to them in a 1 or 2 game set. It's
and if
gonna be
that's the
at a
mindset they
game.
have, if
And
that's the mindset they have, they done already lost. So they not even deserving of being in the
how
playoffs
how they already lost? It's not a mindset that you have.
because they lost the game during the season thinking that way. Alabama and Clemson and Notre Dame and
Bro,
Ohio State
Clemson
ain't been
lost.
approaching it.
Clemson lost. Clemson lost the
With
game. Every team has lost the game except for Alabama and Ohio State. And Ohio State's only played like 4 games.
Notre Dame, but
And Notre
man,
Dame.
bro,
Notre Dame has not lost the game either. Yes. So, like, bro, and man, we can agree to disagree, but man, I think that what you're saying is something that is it's applicable. But I think that it's just like, bro, why would you want to see guys play for nothing when you can see them play for something? Whether because
they
I
had a chance to play for something and they lost. They don't. They lost.
so
Let's go on. Let this.
why is it cool to do it in the NFL though? Like I don't see like
They don't do it. It's the playoffs. They have a
that's what
playoff.
we're trying to
And
create.
Russ, what's in the playoffs in the NFL? All of the conference winners and then 2 wild card teams. Just
Hey,
like I
go,
said, I
goes.
don't mind the conference winners,
Because
bro. I
you know what I see Ghost here that is quite fascinating. I do see that there's a team that is green and orange that is the Miami Hurricane that is in this little mock-up. There's another team that is Oklahoma that is this mock-up. And then I see Iowa, but I don't see Tejas. And so I think that if Texas was a part of this, you may be different. I'd
Nah,
be
I
different.
wouldn't, bro. I wouldn't. If Texas couldn't win the division, and like I said, the conference winners and Oklahoma and Iowa are about to play each other. I don't mind the conference winners going out there because what's the point of the regular season? You had your chance to beat teams and get there. You
So what
didn't.
if you just
Like,
what if you just say fuck it and get rid of all those conference championships and just play the 16?
no, you don't play the 16. You put them all in a conference and then they play each other. Like, it's a playoff for a reason. You don't
No,
want
you
all of the teams who done
no you
lost three.
no
Like,
you
you
but they
play.
don't they haven't lost 3 or 4. I'm saying you get these teams and instead of saying at the end of the season y'all play an extra game in your conference, that's going to mean nothing because the committee can only pick 4 of you. At the end of the season, we will look at all the niggas' records, all the teams' records, and then we're going to evaluate them and say, okay, we want to see these 16 teams play.
Man, I'm not for seeing 16 teams play. I'm cool with seeing everybody who won that conference. And if you want 2 wild cards like the NFL, go for it. But win your conference. That's what the regular season is for. Win your conference. Like, and then it's
I can't believe you feel that.
It's not hoops. They playing football. Like
they're not playing.
They got pro careers. A lot of those dudes who sit out the bowl games, that's the best thing that could happen for the coaches because now they're getting 3 more extra weeks of preparation with the young guys who gonna actually be starting next year. Like, I'm not mad at the whole setup for it. Like, it's one of those. That's what your regular season is for. You go out here and you win your conference. You deserve to be in the playoffs. Now, do I believe it should be 4? Nah, I'm not with 4. I'm just saying. You win your conference, my nigga, and then
how many should it be?
Go and play.
How many should it be?
Like, I wouldn't be mad if you had 8 teams in there. If you had all of the conference winners, like you have all of your conference winners, then you have like the team from like the American, like how Cincinnati balling right now. Them teams should get a shot to be in it. And then I wouldn't be mad at you if you had like maybe. I mean, maybe you can have 2, but maybe you can have 2 of those teams, but you can also have another, like how you saying A&M, say A&M, they don't get another shot to play nobody else, and Florida and Bama play in there. Like, well, honestly, nah, I wouldn't take A&M. You take the best loser of whichever conference and let them be in there, and then you just end it at that. Like, but everybody gonna get a shot. Like 8 teams, 7 teams, I'm cool with that.
Ghost?
Man, I mean, I understand where Chris is coming from. I really do. What he's saying with it, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you win your conference, then okay. But just the whole point of being able to, you know what I'm saying? Just the top, like I said, maybe not necessarily the top 15, maybe the top 10 team get in there. Because, like you said, anybody can sleep on somebody any given day, especially when it comes to college sports, when these one and done games. You know what I'm saying? Like, God forbid, look, like Miami, I'm a huge Miami fan. We already know this. But, them more likely, you know what I'm saying, getting into that college playoff is slim enough, especially since they, you know what I'm saying, got that thing handed to them earlier this season to Clemson. Like, I guess they just had the benefit of the doubt. Well, not the benefit of the doubt, but they just got the lucky benefit that with the ACC, so they still get that title game because it's 2 divisions, so it's split up. And they in a different division than Clemson in the ACC. But it does make it exciting. It makes it intriguing. It's something that's different because if you look at it with like you said, the New Year's Six college football playoffs, every year you pretty much get the same teams. Let's just be honest about it. Every year it's the same teams. Every year you're guaranteed to see Bama in there. Every year you're almost guaranteed to see Clemson in there. Every year you may go ahead and, LSU, or maybe every other year, you may see LSU or some team from the Pac-12. Oregon really hasn't been doing too much, you know what I'm saying? But every year you almost kind of get the same team. So I think if you extend it, maybe get in some other teams where, hey, you know what? You can go ahead and, we'll let Cincinnati line up with, you know what I'm saying, Clemson or Bama or, you know what I'm saying? You go ahead and get it, fucking Texas or OU. Go ahead and OU get in there and, you know what I'm saying, play against someone, underbelly team. I mean, it makes it exciting. Yeah, it's going to extend college. It's going to extend the playoffs. It's going to extend the football season. But at least it's going to give us something exciting because, I mean, since the college football playoffs started, what was it, about 3-4 years ago? How long ago has it been started? It's been like about 4 years, right?
Like 5.
It's been like 5.
Probably long.
Like
it's
5,
pretty much always been the same team.
2014.
Oh yeah, like it's always like the same. You're gonna have the Ohio State representative. You're gonna have the Bama representative, Clemson representative. I mean, go ahead and expand that thing. You know what I'm saying? Top 10 teams. You know what I'm saying? top maybe, you know what I'm saying, 15. Because, I mean, shit, eventually it gets repetitive. And, I mean,
Yeah.
that's not nobody else. That's not, you know what I'm saying, that's not the school's fault. Shit, beat us. We can't help with our recruitment class. You know what I'm saying? We get top-notch recruits. But from the sake of just like thinking of it
Entertainment.
from a business entertainment business standpoint, you know what I'm saying? You're not going to see the same team year in year out. You know what I'm saying? Getting it, you know what I'm saying, in the same college format, same teams playing in the college playoff. That's why most of the time when, you know what I'm saying, I like go ahead and look at the lower card, the lower bowl games. I like let me go ahead and see what's going on with this Alamo Bowl, the Big 12, or whoever playing in the Big 12 and the Pac 12, in the Alamo Bowl, or looking at these Gator Bowl games, or looking at these other lower bowl games. You know what I'm saying? Peach Bowl, whatever else. Just because, you know what I'm saying, you at least have some exciting game, and you never know really what's going to be the outcome paired with these, you know, college football players because it's always the same team.
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess that's my thing on it, looking on it from a just like a business point of view on it. Then, you know, looking at it from like, oh, you know, every year my team gonna be in it. I ain't tripping on it. I know if I'm a, you know what I'm saying, Bama fan, hey, we always gonna be in that thing no matter what. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We always get that chance. But looking at it from like NCAA football standpoint, where you know what I'm saying, you're trying to generate this income, especially during this time. You kind of want to expand. You kind of want to make it
Mm-hmm.
a little bit different because you know what I'm saying. Like you're trying to generate that income.
Yeah, and I agree. And then, you know what I'm saying, as I wrap a ball on this, I'm gonna go ahead and say I understand where you're coming from, Chris, because I truly believe that Alabama would make it all the way through their bracket,
Exactly.
looking
Yeah.
through it. But I will say this: it's not about the fact, to me, and as I say this, it's not about the fact that Alabama would make it through their bracket. It's about the fact that the first day I wake up on whatever day they start this, I get to see the USC Trojans versus Notre Dame, which is a
And
rivalry.
you,
And then
bro, but you wouldn't see that.
wait. Yeah, because it's a college football playoff, so I would be able to see it, and so I'd be able to see that game. And then after that's done, if things go the way you fill it out, and we'd have people filling out brackets too, which adds more money because that adds more betting. And as people fill out the brackets, you're gonna have the Notre Dame fan base, the USC fan base, the Miami fan base, the Iowa State fan base, all feeling like no matter what you say, Chris, even though we think that and no, more than likely, Alabama would make it through. That side of the bracket is going to spend money, and that side of the bracket is going to watch those games. And other people like me that love college football, the way it's set up, look, you have Notre Dame. If they win, they play Miami. If Miami wins, you already know what that is. And it doesn't matter if you think that team can beat Clemson or if you think that Notre Dame, I mean, if you think that Northwestern
Bro,
can
it's not
survive.
about me thinking or nothing.
Hold
I'm
up,
just going based. I'm just going solely based
wait.
off of they
I
played
mean,
their
I let
season.
you, I
That's
let
all
you,
I'm
I
saying.
let you have, I let you have your time. I just want my time to wrap a ball on it. I let you go, let go go. I'm just, you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to put mine on it.
Oh, go ahead.
I,
No,
I
go
feel,
ahead. Go ahead.
we
Put it
heard,
on it.
we know what you
This is
said, Chris.
good.
We
This
heard,
is good debate.
we know
I'm
what you
glad we
said.
brought this up.
We know what you said, Chris. We heard what you said. But this is what I'm saying, bro. Like, I feel you. Alabama's cold, and Alabama played their season, and Alabama made it rock. But I know that as a sports fan, the reason why we do dig the March Madness tournament is the uncertainty. We know that football is
Exactly.
different. We know that football is different, but football has also changed. Football is not as it used to be, where it's such a brutal sport where you're like, we don't want to do. It's not the same like that as it used to be. And with that change, we should get something from it. And what I'm saying is, you
If
get
you
these teams
believe
like this.
that, you
Hold up,
tripping.
wait, hey, hey, if I believe that, I believe it. But let me preach it. You know what I'm saying? So you got games that would be on fire on Saturdays, Mondays, Wednesday, whenever you play them. And then you really have intriguing matchups like Georgia. Could Georgia beat Cincinnati? Could Cincinnati beat Georgia? Texas A&M and Indiana. Yeah, we know the quarterback's hurt. I believe this might have been made before the quarterback was hurt. But yeah, the quarterback's hurt. But then even if you have them go forward, we do have a game that you like to see. And because you know, Coastal Carolina played, they hated on the game. It was the best game of the year actually. And this game, or the second best game of the year, and because Clemson and Notre Dame was the best game of the year. And then you have Texas A&M versus Ohio State more than likely, and that's the game we want to see this week. You know what I'm saying? And you just say you have to play. And all the other stuff aside, because I know there's things that have to be moved around and that kind of stuff. We know that. We can put a million reasons together why it isn't going to work. But we can also put a million reasons together why it would work and why it would be successful, because I can guarantee you Florida versus Oklahoma will put in a lot of revenue, and whoever won that game plays against Clemson, because we all know that the fighting Mike Greenies are not going to be Clemson. But it would be probably a dope game to watch. And I'm just saying, for entertainment, for the purposes of what this is for. Chris, I know that at the end of the day, yeah, you can put two juggernauts, but you're a boxing fan, so you just want to see it too. I would like to see them make their way to it, because the journey to the ship is something special. And I believe college football needs a journey to the ship. College football needs its one shining moment. And college football needs college football overdose, because no matter how you look at it, Chris, I can tell you like this. You'd wake up, I can tell you like this. You'd wake up either morning, Chris, you would wake up enjoying whatever they put with this or with the other one. And I can tell you that everybody, though, as a whole, and people watching it would enjoy it, because you'd have everybody involved. Even if what I think that's not understood about this, or what's not being seen about this, is the fact that it doesn't matter so much as the fact that yeah, your team might get smashed. It's the fact that you got to play. Coastal Carolina, the Mullets get to go out there and ball. And if they go out there and get smashed, they get smashed.
I'm not against those teams playing in a bowl game. What I'm saying is, I respect the regular season of it. So and the bowl game, like, because if you put a bowl game,
let me ask you one question. Let me ask you one question, real quick, because you're like moving around this. And like you're like,
I'm not.
Yes, you are, because
I've said a playoff game, bro.
A playoff game with these players would be 20 times more intense than a bowl game. Period,
bro. Like, and what I'm getting at is, had they used that intensity during the regular season when they were playing their conference, they'd be in the playoffs.
So whatever happens to, they might have been using that intensity. What if you get beat? You've never seen a team lose and then come back and beat a team they get to play them again?
Of course, that's why it's in the.
So why is it not intriguing? Why is it not intriguing? You don't get to play Alabama. You don't, and it's not like it used to be. It's not like we know for sure. We don't know for sure, Chris.
And then you play the conference championship. I'm not saying what's for sure. I'm just saying that that's the point of the regular season. Like in the NFL, it's a regular season and then it's a playoff. Everybody don't get to make the playoffs. Like, you gotta have a good regular season.
It's not everybody. It's literally every team that's deemed good. Like every team that's all y'all cold, bet, go fight. Like that's really what it is. And you're over here like, nah, we saw you lose earlier. But even though you're not gonna fight him until later on, we don't even want to see this intriguing ass fight of you two.
Because hey, look, can I say this? Because you put it in fighting. And fighting, you have to work your way up. Like you play. It's not a regular season, so all of your.
But they still put the undercards on TV. Bam! Hit me, Ghost. Ghost, hit me, Ghost. Give me the bell. Give me the bell. They still put the undercard on the TV.
Can I ask you this, Russ?
Put it on the TV.
Can I ask you this? Even though the 6'6" dude fought on the undercard, did you not hear him when they said he's a long ways away from fighting the Charlo?
It don't matter.
He's not fight for the championship.
You know what? And guess
that's
what
the bowl game is.
And guess what?
Undercard.
No,
it gets you ready for the playoffs.
No, it's not the same, because when you play a bowl game, when you fight that fight, you're still moving upward. When you play the bowl game, that's it. That's why they don't play. You're still fighting for something in the undercard. You're the undercard. You're fighting for something above. Like you're going and moving up. In the bowl game, that's why they're not playing. And and it seems like when we say this, you're just like whatever, they play the same. They would not. The intensity for the first round game of USC versus Notre Dame in the playoff would be 20 times greater than the intensity of a Rose Bowl. Just the Rose Bowl. It'd be 20 times greater. They're playing, because until you get smashed, Chris, on a team, and you know this because we've all been a part of a team, until you get beat, you believe you have a chance. You believe 100% that you have a chance. And so
that's why you played the 10 regular season games.
That it is, but that's also why. Okay, so why does every other sport except for this one have a playoff?
Well, this one does have a playoff.
No,
What
I
I
mean
said,
a playoff with more than 4 teams. But
and Russ, you didn't hear me. You said how many teams would you want? I said I would want all of the conference division winners because that means your regular season has importance to
what
you.
if
You're
a
not
team
playing
wins
for
off a
nothing,
Hail Mary? What if someone
bro.
gets
That
Buffalo
it
Bills?
bro, and bro, a team is about to be out of the playoffs because of that stuff. Like the
But
like
you
it
can
just happens
literally,
that way.
but you can literally, it just okay. So your argument
And you
is
know
it
what
just
Buffalo has to
happens
go
that
do,
way. It just
bro?
happens that way. But
Because
Buffalo
it's the
gets to play again.
season.
Guess what Buffalo's gonna get to do, Chris? It's gonna get to play in the playoff, even though we think it's gonna lose to Kansas City. It gets to play in the
And
playoff. Even though we
and
think it
Russ,
may lose, okay, is it what
and
by
look
your
at what
logic? Hold
happened.
up, wait,
Look at
by
what happened
by
in the Big
hold up,
12, bro.
by your
Look at what
by
happened in the Big
okay,
12.
but by your logic,
When
if Buffalo loses this weekend, fuck the season, it's over. Right, Ghost?
I
By
didn't,
his logic, if Buffalo loses
how is that my logic? How is that
because you're
you?
saying
Because
because they
you're
played the
reverting a pro
season,
game.
but
You're
they played
reverting
the
a pro
season.
game, bro, where they play 18 games and they play the division twice. Like you're changing, like that's moving the field goal because
Bro,
it's two
half
different
these
types
teams,
of
no, half
bro.
these teams, no, it's actually better for college because you spend the regular season in basically a training ground. That's why you can only lose one game because half the teams in your
That's
conference
bro.
ain't even
That's
good enough to play against you. Half
Russell.
of them
That's
ain't,
what,
and the ones that
bro.
are
That's
good
what
enough,
makes the
and so
Russell.
you
You
tell
and when
me
y'all talk
and
about
when you
the revenue of it, that's what drives the revenue
Indiana,
during the regular season.
Indiana lost by one touchdown, and it was not a fluke. I watched the whole game. They lost by one touchdown. If you put them on the field again, that game may end up exactly the same, one touchdown, but it may end up a field goal the other way. It could end up a touchdown the other way because I watched the game. And when you watch the game, you can sit there and tell me all that stuff, and you can bring up Alabama, and Alabama's the powerhouse.
I haven't brought up Alabama
If I
once.
have I'm not saying you. I'm just saying you can bring them up as the power. But I'm saying you can't tell me that if Oklahoma played Florida and Florida beat them, and you had Florida versus Clemson, you can't tell me that's money TV. You don't want to wake up and watch that? I don't care if they don't go on to win the ship. My ass gets to wake up on Saturday morning or Saturday and wait till the evening time, and I get to watch Florida with a kid that we have seen come out of nowhere. Well, we know he hadn't come out of nowhere, but that has come out of nowhere in Trash, and then we get to see the next second coming in Sunshine play against each other, and then right before that, we got to see Spencer Rattler and Trash playing, but what probably was a freaking duel to the end. And I'm not gonna say my Sooners would lose all the time. I'm just saying, and this is just a scenario of big TV where it's like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Or if you get Oklahoma versus Clemson again, like them, that's TV anyways. But I just don't
I'm
see how you
all
can sit there and
for
say that you don't want to see a playoff where guys will play that much harder, and you know in your heart they would play that much harder in a
no,
playoff other
because
than a
bro,
Rose Bowl or a regular season.
because bro, the bowl games. I'm looking at the 4 teams. Like
Bro,
right now, I think it's invalid because they can't let in the one of the conferences.
we
So I
saw
do,
a
like
couple
I said, I do feel like everybody who wins their conference, everybody who goes out here, because look at the Big 12, bro. Oklahoma, all of these teams been playing good, but now the best 2 teams emerge, Oklahoma and Iowa.
two
Like,
years ago. 2 years ago, we saw Georgia play Texas in a bowl game, and I'm not even taking shots. I'm just saying this is my point. 2 years ago, we saw Texas play Georgia in a bowl game. Georgia didn't give two shits because Georgia didn't believe they had a chance. It doesn't matter that even if they lost that game, that Georgia had a team that people were saying, man, this team is one of the best teams in the nation, and we kind of want to see them fight against. And if they would have had Texas in the first round matchup, and Texas still beat them like that, and it was still a game where y'all won, just imagine if that was one of the Sweet 16 games that started off, and y'all actually won that game. What that shit would bring pandemonium. It would be literally, and I'm an Oklahoma fan, but that would be the livest shit. Y'all would
you
move
know
on to
why? You know
the
why
next
we didn't
round, and get to
deserve to
keep
move on
playing.
to the
It
next
doesn't
round,
matter
bro?
about deserve. Deserved
No, it
what?
does, bro.
No, it doesn't.
You know why?
They added an
Because
extra playoff team in the NFL.
bro, you
Deserve
don't
shit.
just
It's
because
about
you
entertainment
yelling
and
and
money.
stuff
Like,
and bro, you're
bro,
gonna make the same. You're
no,
not
you're
gonna make
not.
more money
Yeah.
putting
Oh,
like
how? How? Explain how you're not going to make more money by adding more teams with more fan bases that have money. I'm pretty sure that Notre Dame got some money and would spend that money to watch their team play and would spend that money on merchandise. I'm pretty sure USC, who's been hot as hell right now, moving up.
and what, bro? You're naming all the teams, and like I said, everybody who wins their conference, I have no issue with putting them in a playoff. And you can put in the team in the Atlantic who wins their conference. I'm all about you winning your conference. Like, this not the NFL. And one, I'm not trying to see these dudes play all of these extra games before they can go get drafted
It's
and make
four
$1
games.
million.
It's 4 games. It's four
Like,
games. It's 4 games. Stop saying all
no,
those extra.
sir.
It's 4 games. It's 4 games. It's four.
Bro, all
It's
it
four
take is
games.
one, and all it take is 1 minute
They
for you to
playing
blow your knee out.
football. It's football. It's
Exactly. That's
so
why you
no.
just
So
play the regular season.
let's play a 6-game season and keep them all bottled up because they're fragile. It's football. It is football. And they're not even allowed to
Bro,
hit like they used to hit anymore. It's not even the
bro,
same. Like,
my
come
nigga.
on, bro.
But look, if you want to look at something that's crazy, it ain't the same. But it's more injuries now than it was when it was all crazy in the '90s. And they got on statistics and stats. Like, more dudes are coming up hurt, and it's not off of getting hit. It's off of soft tissue injuries.
And guess what they're
And
doing? More dudes are able to come back from those injuries than they used to be able to too.
I'm not, man, bro. I'm not even getting into the injury part of it. I'm not getting into no part of it.
And what part of it is it? I don't. Okay,
Yes,
so let me get your logic. Let me get your logic. It's only about us playing the regular season. I don't want guys to play extra games because I don't want guys to play extra games.
Russ, I'm not getting into none of the other stuff outside of the fact that I feel like in the regular season, that's when you're supposed to play and try to win. If you didn't win your conference, I don't feel like you should be playing for a championship,
you don't believe any team matched up and doing a great ass game, and you can sit there and look and say those teams. So what do you think about the Georgia? What do you think about the Georgia versus Alabama when they got a rematch?
Bro, they don't have to rematch because Georgia is not finna win that other side.
No. I'm talking about when that did happen, because apparently by your logic, Georgia shouldn't have been. Georgia shouldn't have been in the playoff. Georgia ended up going to the national championship though. They ended up in the playoff.
I was against that when that year I thought you were talking about this year. The year that they put both of those teams in there, I was totally against that, bro. Like, I do not feel like a conference champion should be left out of the playoffs. Like, I feel like I don't care what the record was. I don't care how they look. Like you said, if USC went out there and won that conference, bro, which is looking like they finna do, they deserve to play in the championship. The only way they don't deserve to play in it is if you saying like you picking out of
Blasphemy.